Hello there, and thank you for joining us again on Prime Insight. This is your first stop for a Saturday morning. If you want to be updated on anything current affairs and all the political rhetoric that's taking place throughout the week, it's the reason for which we're always happy with bright smiles coming your way on the screens every Saturday morning on Joy Prime. And as always, we know that Prime Insight will give you that typical analysis while bringing in, audience views and what you also think about all the national issues that we've been discussing throughout the week. My name is Blessed Suga, and of course, just to welcome you to the show today and to give you a sense of what will be happening throughout the course of the 2-hour period that we will be spending with you here on Joy Prime. So for this week, many of you have heard about the thank you tour of the chairperson of the National Democratic Congress, Asiedu Nketia. Well, he's been explaining why he's been going around the country. He's now in the Eastern region, I believe, interacting with the base of the party after the 2024 general elections. Well, the explanation is that despite an earlier thank you tour by the president, he ought to do same because there was a new strategy by the NDC going into the 2024 elections just to check the NPP's attempt to undermine their political victory at the parliamentary level. So we'll get to explain that to you and give you a sense of why Asiedu Nketia wants us to believe that this is not a ploy to nurse his presidential ambitions. Because we all know that many have been saying that it's not necessarily a thank you tour. It might be giving him undue advantage over the others who are equally lacing their boots to become president. Others are also blaming the chief of staff for stoking all of this with his Walk with Julius, which is a campaign he's launched for fitness. So all of these issues are coming up, and there's a reason for us to get your sense on it, what you think about this whole thank you tour by the chairperson of the National Democratic Congress. So we'll get into it for you. But we'll start off the morning by talking about this whole decision by the government of Ghana now to run a third country arrangement with the United States on immigration, because now we understand that 40 more West African nationals will be brought back from the United States. We understand this will be a deportation move, but Ghana is now at the receiving end, receiving these individuals and sending them to third countries. Why is the country doing that without parliamentary ratification? The sector minister has been explaining that. We'll get into all of that, get to hear his justification, and then get your sense as to whether or not this reminds us of the famous Gitmo 2 case, right? Because back in 2017, the Supreme Court had made a clear pronouncement and made some dictates in line with Article 75 of our Constitution. So is the government in violation of that? We'll speak to that for you shortly. You want to be our guest here on Prime Insight for the next 2 hours. My studio audience are also seated, and I'll be telling you about my guest when we return after these messages. Stay with us here. This is Prime Insight. Welcome once again to the show.
Hot chocolate, crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy, chocolatey, frothy goodness, rich taste, so satisfying.
Cadbury goodness, the treats you deserve every day.
Avoid gossip. Refrain from speaking ill of others or spreading unverified information. This can damage reputations and undermine trust.
Good conduct, great life is brought to you by
Indomie.
Tastes great.
Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. It gets everything inside. Champion taste. Yes, Uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
You go be the luckiest. Go be from Georgia, be luckiest. From that depth, she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Senya God up boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the son of man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Everywhere.
Dial *712#. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
This October, Ghana's altar calls once again. After 7 unforgettable years, the 8th edition of Women in Worship arrives with a divine charge. Celebrating his faithfulness, minstrels Ada Ehi, Rabna Tommy Favored, Keepers Music, Ekiaser Wabonsu, and many more will gather at Perez Dome on October 5th. Grab your tickets now. Regular 100 Ghana cedis, VIP 200 Ghana cedis plus beverage. Grab it online via Ego Tickets or www.eventpaddy.com. Short code USSD *713 *33 *30# or call Ticket Hotline 0248 810 396 or 0544 124 567. Tickets are available at Airport Shell, Hatcho Shell, Bachana Total, Perez Dome, and more. Sponsors, media partners. Brought to you by Women in Worship 2025. Daughter, you still have a voice.
And thank you for staying with us here on Joy Prime. This is Prime Insight, and of course, we'll be getting into the details for you. Why don't we do that now by, first of all, getting onto the phone lines and speaking to Nana Bafwewa, who's Mensha South MP. He's also a lawyer, because we understand that some members of the NPP are unhappy about this whole decision by the government of Ghana to allow more West African nationals to come through the country. And we understand that that's part of a third agreement with the United States over Donald Trump's deportation arrangement. Is the reason for which many are raising questions as to what exactly is contained in this deal. Some are, pointing to Article 75 of the Constitution, and of course, going way back to 2017 when the court made that pronouncement on the Gitmo 2 case, requesting the government of Ghana to first of all ratify the agreement. The belief is that if that's not done, then everything government is doing now is unconstitutional. So why is the NPP now planning to head to court over this? And what more would the party do to engage government on the need to just bring before Parliament details of this arrangement? Nana Bafwewa is with us. But first of all, what I want us to do is to get the perspective and the context that the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Nketia, has been providing on this matter. He's been speaking in an exclusive interview with Bernard Avler. We can listen to excerpts of that, then get to hear from of course, Nana Bafo-Ewa on that. But I understand that this is actually the explanation of the government accountability series instead, because the minister subsequent to that has been holding some interviews. But let's listen to that government accountability series and hear the justification from the Foreign Affairs Minister on that.
The government of Ghana took the principled and humanitarian decision to accept the limited number of West African nationals deported from the United States under exceptional circumstances, in line with Ghana's long-standing Pan-African ideals and unwavering commitment to regional solidarity. Many of these individuals were being held in detention, which was both psychologically and physically distressing. They were also faced with the risk of being deported to countries that are not safe and do not have the stability and human rights credentials Ghana is famed for. You need to note that President Trump has secured a positive verdict from the US Supreme Court that he could go ahead and remove these nationals and dump them anywhere. As a nation that upholds the dignity and rights of all people, particularly those of African descent, Ghana's action was guided solely by our moral responsibility, our legal obligations under the 1992 Constitution and ECOWAS protocols, our distinguished Pan-African track record, and historic and legendary leadership in championing the rights of all Africans. Let me emphasize that under this understanding with the United States, Ghana must first independently vet the background of those the US intends to deport, to first satisfy ourselves that they do not pose any threat to the security of our country and that they cannot harm our citizens. We have put in place strict safeguards to ensure that convicted, hardened criminals cannot be brought into our country under this understanding. The Mahama administration will never compromise the safety and well-being of Ghanaians. This understanding with the US has been thoroughly discussed by Cabinet and has also received the Attorney General's advice. By established convention, MOUs are not sent to Parliament for ratification. I have inherited hundreds of MOUs from the previous administration, which were not sent to Parliament for ratification. May I assure the nation that if this initial understanding is elevated into a full-blown agreement, we shall not hesitate to comply with Article 75 of the 1992 Constitution by proceeding to Parliament for ratification. The government...
Okay, so that's the explanation from the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Nketia, explaining the government accountability series on why the government of Ghana is taking this path to do a third country arrangement with the US on the deportees. Concerns about human rights and others are coming up. And Nana Bafo-Ewa is with us because we understand the NPP could be heading to court through some MPs and interested parties in the coming days. Nana Bafo-Ewa, thank you for spending time with us here on Prime Insight. First off, why do you feel this is a constitutional violation, knowing that the minister and by extension government says, well, this is based on humanitarian grounds? That's the explanation being given now.
Thank you very much. Very respectfully, the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana ought to be convicted. It doesn't make for humanity and that's 85. And 75 doesn't say that some agreements should go to Parliament for approval, except humanitarian grounds. Article 75 doesn't say that. The Supreme Court, in interpreting Article 75, in the case of Nana Bwate and Margaret Bamfo versus the Attorney General, stated categorically that all international agreements, treaties, including MOUs, should go to Parliament for approval. And so there is no exception made under Article 75 as to what agreement can should go to Parliament for approval or should not. And so, respectfully, within the context of the Constitution, there is no exception. Secondly, when we talk of humanitarian now, there is no country that is more resourced than the United States of America. And so, if U.S. is holding people, I doubt the people risk losing their humanity, for which reason we should be rushing to find an agreement to receive those people. In any event, President Trump has constantly drummed home why the need to deport such people. And his overriding consideration has been that those people are a threat to the national security of the United States of America and the safety of its citizens. In fact, very respectfully, President Trump has constantly used the word criminals, that he's deporting criminals to where they come from. And so if that is the position, why are we the ones in a rush to receive them?
Yeah, but there's an answer on that. The minister says there are checks. No one on the Interpol list will be accepted into the country. No criminal as well will be accepted into the country. Does that not give you enough assurance?
I doubt what the minister is saying. I trust what President Trump has stated. President Trump has constantly said that they will be writing great for the United States of America as that they are criminals. You've heard it, haven't you?
Except to say that I'm not aware of the individuals who are being brought into our country now. 40 more of them, we understand, will be coming. So let's move to the aspect of...
You are not aware.
Yeah.
I am not aware.
Right.
But what we know is what President Trump has said.
Yeah, why don't you want to believe President Mahama and choose to believe Trump? Because your president is President Mahama.
No, we all know why Trump bought it from America. Too long. Having heard on many the big and some right?
Okay, Nana, this is what I want us to do. Let's talk about what action will be taken by some of you in the NPP now in the coming days. Will this go to court eventually?
The court has taken its position in the case of Margaret Balfour, Nana Boakye versus Margaret Balfour. In terms of going forward when possible, I think that obviously they tweet left and get up or not without. And those trouble with stuff, view that era back. That it was that era that came it down. Sadly, that Attorney General was very involved not in the decision of the current one.
Yeah, we seem to be having a challenge to hearing you, probably because of the network connections. But that's Bafo Iwade, who's Nketia South MP, explaining to us that, of course, this is grounded in case law. A reason for which the NPP is unhappy about this. Let me also come in studio and tell you about my guests. We have Wanda Victor Kutop, who is a member of the National Executive Committee of the National Democratic Congress, also a board member of the Volta River Authority. Thank you, sir, for your time here on the show. Kamal Amasama Brone is a leading member of the Alliance of Foot Soldiers Advocacy Group, AFA. Thank you both for your time here. You've heard the Nketia South MP also explain what the case is. But in the course of the conversation, I'll come back to the studio audience to get their thoughts on that before we move into the Asiedu Nketia case. But you are a lawyer as well, so you tend to understand perhaps where Bafo is coming from. Article 75 is clear that when you're doing all of these arrangements, yes, it might be diplomacy, you are doing an in-camera negotiation, but in the end, you must update the people of Ghana on what exactly you're doing. 40 more individuals will be coming into this country. And most of them are not, I don't believe there's even a Ghanaian in there so far, looking at the number that the president has put out. So is it not time, and is it not that simple, since you have a 2/3 majority in parliament, for the NDC to just go through the parliamentary ratification process on this?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning to yourself, my brother here, people in studio, and to our viewers.
Right.
I must say that I've kind of listened to what the minister has said. I would have wished that the minister would have indicated the nature of the advice gotten from the Attorney General. Because he said the matter went to cabinet and the AG had given his opinion on it. I would have wished that the minister stated the nature of the opinion received. Well, this is a very simple matter. In terms of receiving the deportees, there's nothing wrong. I mean, I have practiced immigration law quite some time.
You're saying there's nothing wrong with this?
No, the procedure, there's a problem with the procedure. I'm talking about the substance. The substance, receiving persons, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with receiving such persons.
Right.
If you look at the various immigration rules across the world on humanitarian grounds, as the president rightly said, there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. But I think the problem many are having is the procedure, which I kind of side in a way. Because if you say memorandum of understanding, do not go to parliament, that is just a heading. What does the content state? If the content appears to be an agreement, then it ought to go to parliament in accordance with Article 75 of the 1992.
So even at the MOU stage, it should still go to parliament, isn't it?
No, that's what I'm saying, that the mere title of a document as memorandum of understanding is not what matters. It's the content. Because if the memorandum of understanding appears to be an agreement in fact, it ought to go to parliament. I mean, when it comes to issue of the law, I won't just be speaking as a politician. I want to stick to the law. Right. Like I indicated earlier, in terms of the substance, receiving the person, the minister did no wrong, government did no wrong, it's right, it's proper, I agree with the president on humanitarian grounds. But the procedure is what I will have an issue with. That's why I'm minded. I want to know the nature of the opinion given by the Attorney General. Particularly so when the Honourable Minister says that this matter was discussed in cabinet.
In cabinet, and that's how serious this is. For the AG to clear this, then there might be something else that we ought to know.
Exactly.
Are you not shrouding this as a government in secrecy of a sort?
No. I mean, this government has always been very transparent. You see, my only worry with the posture of the MPP is the inconsistency. You remember the Gitmo 2 issue? They complained, blah, blah, blah. When they came to power, the people were in this country for the entire period. So they need to be consistent. You see, I'm trying to be consistent here that, look, receiving the deportees, there's no problem. But I thought that the procedure ought to have been reconsidered. Because at the end of the day, we have 2/3 majority in parliament. Yeah, I understand parliament has been on recess, but they can always, under certificate of urgency, recall parliament and discuss this issue. So I don't think the government should have a problem going to parliament to rectify it. But this school of thought as to whether or not Ghana is entirely a dualist state. I mean, this is not a constitutional law class. But in the light of Article 33.5 of 1992 Constitution, Ghana probably not be described as entirely a dualist state, but that's just for academic purposes. People always talk about Article 75, but you need to always read Article 75 in tandem with Article 33.5 of the Constitution, which recognizes automatic recognition of human rights and some principles that are
but in all Commonwealth countries, the practice is you cannot enforce any international agreement until you do ratification.
That's I'm telling you.
That's the convention.
I have the Constitution here. I can open Article 33.5 for you. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that Ghana is not entirely 100% a dualist state.
So that notion would not stand.
Is it Article 33.5?
Okay,
if you want to read it,
you can go ahead and... Okay, this is 33.5 we're looking at. It says the rights, duties, declaration, and also guarantees relating to the fundamental human rights and freedoms specifically mentioned in this chapter shall not be regarded as excluding others not specifically mentioned, which are considered to be inherent in a democracy and intended to secure the freedoms and dignity of man.
Yes.
So you're trying to say that regardless of your citizenship, whoever you are, once you come into this country, that should apply to you?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there are some rights that you don't go for ratification. We consider them as automatic.
You feel it's fundamental?
It's
but forced eviction is what the US is doing, isn't it? So is Ghana not being complicit in that?
Not necessarily. In the world of immigration, what we call the third safe country rule, right? We want to go and look at it. And I want to tell you, let's look at the conditions for deportation. One is that there's an element of fear. That's the first condition, or reasonable fear, such that you cannot return to your home country. That's the first element. The second element is that fear is as a result of maybe your race, your political opinion, and all of that, which is what is preventing you from going back to your home country. Now, the US arrangement said that, look, you cannot go back to your home country because of certain elements. So they are taken to another safe country. And the US purports to have an arrangement sort of with Ghana. The question is whether or not Ghana is a safe country. But I think the bottom line is we need to look at the bigger picture. As Africans, we need to develop our country. Look, if Ghana is well developed, our income level is high, why should somebody have a problem? If US are taking these people to Canada, will we be having this discussion? I mean, let's be honest.
So you feel it's because of Ghana?
I'm just saying that if, as Africans, we need to develop our own continent. I mean, that's a bigger picture. We need to develop our own continent. Why should it be a problem if you are brought to another safe country? Because your argument, because the main reason why you cannot stay in your country is the issue of fear and victimization and all of that. You know, when this Abonya issue came that he has applied for asylum, what was the ground he stated? He said that he's being persecuted in his own home country. And that he is pleading on other countries to assist him. He applied to Ivory Coast, US, and what have you. So I'm saying that the bottom line, when it comes to issue of deportation, asylum seeking, and all of that, has to do with fear. And yes. Let him land, then I'll come to you, Nana. And that the main reason why you cannot go back to your home country is because of your political opinion, your religion, and all of that. Ghana is a third safe country in this contest. In this contest.
And you saw that Nana is back on the lines. It appears, Nana, you have some challenges with the submission being made now.
So I think that the submission being made by my friend is very respectfully very unfortunate, to say the least. He proceeded along the lines of, if I may be given the liberty to use the word, placing less emphasis, the phrase or sentence, placing less emphasis on the importance of the Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and due regard should be given to it. Breach of the Constitution is such a big matter that should be dealt with. And so we cannot trivialize what has happened. It cannot be trivialized.
Yeah, but he's just read Article 33(5) to you this morning.
It is completely misconceived. The relevance of Article 33(5) to this matter, I doubt where you're getting that inspiration from. But it's completely misconceived. We need to look at the facts at hand. The persons that are being brought in, right? Were they found in Ghana prior to the execution of the agreement? No. The Constitution of Ghana applies to the Republic of Ghana and not beyond. And so what is the relevance of Article 33(5) to someone who lives in the United States of America? The person that thinks of, or that will to be relocated or brought the Republic of Ghana back to them. They were not in the Republic of Ghana, and so that thing has to get by
we seem to be losing you again, but his point is made that he seems to have a challenge with the constitutional provisions.
Once you reconnect with him, let me just make some. I mean, the beauty of legal profession is that our argument.
You always disagree as lawyers, isn't it?
On a superior basis. I have said here, maybe senior counsel didn't listen to me carefully. I said here that I have a challenge with the procedure being adopted by the Honourable Minister. I've even mentioned that the mere use of the word memorandum of understanding does not preclude going to Parliament for ratification. Because if the content itself has to do with agreement, then it ought to go to Parliament. And I even made mention of the fact that we have to take majority in Parliament. This should not be a problem, passing it through Parliament and all of that. The bringing in Article 35, well, as I indicated, was for academic purposes. That look, yes, and Article 75, Ghana appears to be a dualist state. But can we say that Ghana is 100% dualist state in the light of Article 35, just for academic purposes? But in relation to the fact that at hand, I've said that the government did no wrong in accepting such persons into although I have a challenge with the procedure. I mean, I'd stated it right from the
let me bring in Kamal. Kamal, because I recall the demonstration at the time back in 2016, was it, or was it in 2012? One of these years, when the NPP, of course, was raising all of these issues around the Gitmo 2 people, a reason for which some of you went as far as the Supreme Court on this matter. So how do we resolve this? The issue about procedure and humanitarian grounds. I mean, obviously, the US is not as open to these individuals now. They would have to leave anyway. Now, if I come to Ghana and I'm holding a Nigerian passport, for instance, that's a West African passport. There's no way an immigration official perhaps would have rejected me anyway. I'm not saying forced evictions are okay. But these are, brothers, isn't it?
Yeah, so let's say, good morning to my constituents and viewers. I think the NDC is still failing to learn something from the Gitmo 2. That's my position on that, because looking at the ruling that came through the Supreme Court, it should have by now, at least the second coming of President Mama, should have made him to do things differently. But it's like the status quo still remains. And when I listen to the Foreign Affairs Minister, that is a memorandum of understanding and they were advised or cleared by the Attorney General, as if to say the Attorney General cannot make a mistake. So in the capacity of the Attorney General, the Attorney General himself should have relied on what the Supreme Court's ruling was on the Gitmo 2. Because we all know that the Supreme Court is clothed with the powers of interpretation.
That's right.
So if the Supreme Court had ruled that the Gitmo 2 issue without ratification was unconstitutional, why must the Attorney General still proceed on that target? So I agree with the counsel here that when he made the assertion that he has a challenge with what the minister said, because we don't know the details. And when you look at the way the whole thing panned out, it was just like we just woke up, but for this president, nobody... we weren't aware. I don't think, Blessed, we were aware. You are a foreign affairs correspondent for...
I didn't know about it, to be honest.
None of us.
But now the president has told us why they're doing that.
No, but just as you said, you have a parliament, rubber stamp parliament, basically. You can just walk it through, let your MPs approve of it. It would have sufficed. This noise or hula baloo coming out of these things wouldn't have been coming up. Now, this is the case per what the minister said. Has to do with us accepting nationals of different countries, not our own nationals. But if it is your own citizens, the U.S. is deporting. There's no agreement that you need to. They are bringing back your
Ghana has always been in that pride of being the black star of Africa. This is Pan-Africanism, isn't it?
No, but there are rules and regulations. You just don't accept people by virtue of the fact that even within the ECOWAS system, there are limits where another ECOWAS national must be here for at least 90 days. It's not just infinite that the person can be in Ghana without seeking for residence permit and the like. So you don't assume that automatic right because you belong to West Africa. The same West Africa has treaties and rules that are guiding our nationals. So the basic thing the government should have just done was to take the thing to Parliament, draw the attention of Ghanaians, and then rectify it. It's as simple as that.
Wanda, you believe same?
Yes, like I indicated earlier, but just to make a very quick point what my senior brother said. So the reason why they cannot be Ghanaians, if they were Ghanaians, they would not be coming to Ghana if they are asylum seekers, because the ingredient of seeking asylum is the issue of fear of going back to your home country. In fact, in 2022, April 2022, UK had a similar agreement with Rwanda.
But that the flights never took place.
The UK had an agreement with Rwanda.
They did.
The principle then was that, look, these persons want asylum in the UK. Let's take them to Rwanda, which we think it's also a safe country.
Yes.
so that they can get the asylum in Rwanda. But the UK court declared Rwanda as not safe. So the principle is about safety.
Yeah, but if you look at our case, the president said in that press conference that the individuals were being sent back home.
Yeah.
In fact, the first 14 that were sent back,
they were sent.
Some were Nigerians. They used the bus, he says, and there was only one Gambian who had to do a flight. So the nature of the
that they are talking to their embassy here,
so that they can get a flight for him.
Yeah.
So it looks like the nature of this arrangement is quite different, isn't it?
So then that would mean that Ghana now becomes the safe third country.
So is it asylum, or are we, becoming a conduit for sending these people back home? That's perhaps where the question is coming from.
That's why I said that I would have wished that the honourable ministers give us the nature of the opinion one received by the Attorney General. You understand?
Yeah.
My brother clearly stated that if the AGs are given that an acceptance, then the AG also could be wrong. But I do not have as a fact the nature of the opinion given by the Attorney General, and I want to give the benefit of the doubt
to the AG on that. Let's come into the audience. Perhaps some of you have some concerns on that. Kindly introduce yourself when you're speaking, so we know, which of the universities you're coming from or where you're joining us from. Yes, I think we give the first take to the lady in front. Yes, we can hear you. Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. I am Sewa Franklina, SRC Women's Commissioner for Accra Technical University. So what I want to say is that you can't accept deportees to your country when your own people are also refugees in another country. It is good sometimes because it strengthens relationship with other countries, but not as a time that we have about 48,000 Ghanaians who are refugees in Cote d'Ivoire as a result of conflict. So what do I suggest? I suggest that Ghanaians should rather channel their energy to save their own rather than accepting deportees who are not even Ghanaians. Thank you.
Great point there. But just to, update the record, that we understand that it's now 5,000 people who are across the border. Initially, when the conflict started, over 13,000 of them were there. We just returned with a foreign minister from Vancouver. I understand the minority, some NPP MPs are also there. They are returning today. So the number now is 5,000. There are some people behind who would want to make some interventions as well. But before then, we do yours.
Right.
And then.
My name is Christian Tete from Tama West constituency. It is important that we recognize ourselves as human beings. The bottom line is that Ghana is one of the most peaceful country in the continent. So when it comes to the safeguard of individual rights in all spheres, Ghana is assured. We might have our own issues about conflict, moving from other countries, but we have that pride as a country. So as Lawyer Kuto stated, the processes should have been more open up for us to see the details. But I don't see anything wrong with it. Look, Ghana is a safe haven. That anybody that comes out of Ghana is safe and secure in our country, regardless. So it's not a much of a concern. What we must be...
But how about transparency? People want to know what's contained in
that is the concern now.
the deal.
And this particular government, I know, is an open government, open for consultations, engagement on any matter that is national interest. So at the end of the day, let us bring it on board so that we discuss it further. But I see nothing wrong with it, that we are receiving refugees for safe haven purposes.
Yeah.
Right.
Great point there. And there are some people behind you who just want to chip in that point quickly. Yes, let's do the gentleman there.
So my name is Professor Brahima from University of Ghana. So I think one of the points I think we are missing from the presidential encounter was that the president categorically stated that these people said they wanted to go to their home countries. So it's not as if, the Ghana, as it were, forcefully sending them back to their homes. But it was an agreement. These nationals opened up and said, they want to go to their countries. Then the presidency provided a way of going to your homes by way of bus. And we are understanding that we are left with just a Gambian who is still, yet to be, sent to his home. So in all these conversations, at the end of the day, the individuals involved, the 14 people that even came in, gave their consent to be sent to their various homes. And now looking at the relationship we've had with, the US, looking at, these latest visa restrictions, the latest issues on, how the US seeks to put tariffs on our goods and whatnot. All these things, in looking at strengthening our relationship with the US, these are some of the things that we need to factor in the diplomatic relationships, such that, offering this gesture will not really do more harm, but rather go away to strengthen our relationship with them. We can have the issue about the law side and whatnot, but we have to look at the humanitarian grounds as well. Because if today we are being approached to receive people and we are not as it were, in agreement with them and we are not accepting, tomorrow we don't know what we'll also go to the US for or what we will also be asking them for on their behalf. So generally, I see that, it's a way of strengthening our diplomatic relationships with them.
Right.
And going forward, when it comes to legalities aspects, that's what, we have to look at. But, if the Attorney General clears it, we should have confidence that there is that kind of genuine and legitimate reason for that.
All right.
All these things, when you look at the process, I think they said there's a vetting process included in terms of accepting them. So that means that it's not just a procedure that we cannot rely on. Basically, it's a procedure or process that it is reliable and we are sure of their safety.
Right. Okay. Thank you. The gentleman behind. Before that, yes.
Okay. I'm Paul from AFA. Paul Amwako from AFA.
Right. Great.
Yeah. Before 2024 elections, the NDC made it that we have about almost 2 million unemployed youth in this country. And then the 24 hours is a game changer. But now looking at the insecurity level of this country, and then we are deporting people who are termed as criminals back into this country.
Yeah, are you sure these are criminals?
No, the Trump named them as criminals. So the criminals coming back into this country, and then looking at the insecurity level in this country, I think the youth are disappointed. Many of us, because we want employment, and the insecurity level here, and also deporting these people here. Well, I think the security level will still be in shambles. So this is a wrong move. And then many of us, especially the youth, we are supporting the government. In fact, we are disappointed. You don't want us
to bring these individuals in?
No, we are not even the security level in this country is at stake. Today, conference here, wars here, other things here, and then we are still deporting criminals here. I think it's a wrong move. For now, we want the security to be stable, so that the 24 economy will work, and we all get employment and free.
Okay, any more takers? I think there's a gentleman behind, then we'll come to you. Yes.
Okay. So my name is Emmanuel Swanzibafo. I'm from Takwa Insoi. I'm a student of engineering at the University of Mines and Technology. Right. So I think, in my view, one of the key things that we need to look at is that the US as a country is causing us to commit international crimes that they would not want to commit. Because as a sovereign country, we are a member state to the United Nations. And for that reason, it means that we are bound by certain international conventions. The two that I will speak of is the 1951 Refugee Convention, and then also the Convention Against Torture, which requires that a country ought to protect citizens of other countries who are bound to be persecuted in their country, in their safe zones or territories. So that is basically what Ghana is supposed to do in this particular agreement. But is that what we are seeing? No. We are in a situation where we are getting the deportees here, and then there are actually plans to take them back to the so-called countries where they don't feel safe. You understand? So far, out of the 14 that were brought in, about 3 of them have been sent already. Now we are making plans to send back the 11 remaining, and then there are even plans to receive 40 more into our country. So it means that we are now committing the international crime, not the US. They have outsmarted us by getting us to accept the deportees here as the so-called friendly country.
Yeah, but how about the humanitarian explanation?
It becomes a humanitarian, if you want, sort of an endeavor. If we are actually keeping them here in our country, if we are keeping them safe here. But it's not as if we are keeping them here. You are receiving them and rather what? Taking them back to their countries. And that is where it becomes a problem. The last thing I'll speak of, on the 13th of March 2025, the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, on the floor of Parliament,
justified, or not even, it was not even a justification. He was basically briefing the House about the plans of the Trump administration. And when he was giving details of reasons why these deportations were ongoing, there was no mention of asylum seekers. They only gave clarity or particular mention to, if you want, citizens of other countries who have their visas expired, or those who have committed criminal offenses. So if you are deporting such people, it is no problem. Yeah. But these are asylum seekers. And Ghana, as a sovereign country bound by these international laws that I've actually spoken of, the Convention Against Torture and the 1951 Refugee Convention, we have a responsibility to keep such citizens safe. And so we find ourselves in a position where if care is not taken, our international image out there will be jeopardized. Okay, and it's something that we need to really correct.
Let me do the last take from behind, and then we'll close the chapter on this one. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Moses Osei-Bonsu from University of Ghana. I would like to say something, that when the people, they were at the detention center in the USA, they didn't even know that they were even being deported to Ghana. All they saw is that they were in Ghana.
But how do you know that?
Oh, yes. When you read the case, you see it there. You see it there. That, we are going somewhere. Then you just bring them to Ghana. And the truth of the matter is that these people, they do not want to go to their country. The judge has given them, the USA judge has given them, what's the name?
Protection.
Yes, that they shouldn't go back to their countries. Yes, do you get it? But because of it, to create fear. But you Ghanaians, we've accepted them and we are trying to deport them to their country. We are trying to take them back to their country. I feel it's not right. It's not right because they are afraid of going to their country, and we are bringing them in Ghana. We've brought them to Ghana, and we are trying to also take them back to their country.
Okay, great points there. So let's look at what will happen next, and then I'll come to my guests to wrap up on this chapter. Nana Bafoiwa is with us. So Nana, what do you plan to do in the coming days? Let's briefly, if you can just close the chapter on that for us. We've lost him there, but of course you've heard the reactions from the audience. They feel that government ought to be a bit more open about this.
Yeah, I agree, except to add, again, by way of education, when we say people are criminals, these are criminals, let's be very careful because of the presumption of innocence. Yeah. Have the people been tried? Have they been tried by a court of competent jurisdiction? So just refer people as criminals.
You feel we shouldn't be calling them criminals?
No, because, we all know that before you can say somebody is a criminal, the person ought to have gone through a certain level of trial. It would be unfair to see even a mere allegation does not qualify to make somebody a criminal. Also, I just want to call on the Foreign Affairs Minister that there are also some pressing needs foreign affairs matters. Ghanaians now, when they go for US visas, 3 months. Yeah. 3 months. And they have to go and pay about $150 and all of that for single entry. In the past, it used to be 5 years visa, and all these are a result of reciprocal arrangements. So he should leverage on all these agreements.
Okay, so you want the agreement to stand? Yeah. So we leverage on that and get what we also want.
I'm saying that if government is bent on pushing this agreement and all of that, it should inure to the benefits of the larger Ghanaian. I mean, why do you have government? It's to serve. So I'm just calling, it's a passionate approach to the honourable minister, and I know he's a listening person. Look, Ghanaians are really struggling. I mean, why should somebody go and struggle to get a date, go and be in the queue and just to get a 3-month visa? Then after 3 months, if you want to go back for a conference in the US, you need to start the same process again and be paying $150. In the past, it used to be 5 years at the minimum. So I think that the Foreign Office Minister should use his office to help the people of Ghana in this manner.
Kamal, let's wrap up with you.
Yeah, so, Blessed, the purpose of asylum seeking has to do with you having fear or any reason for which you are running away from your own home country. So if regardless of any processes, another country will have to, the country you are seeking an asylum from, will have to bring you to another country only for them to take you back. It defeats the purpose of asylum. So we should get it clear, regardless of the explanation the government gives. As long as the people come here, and we are not keeping them here, because if you are talking of humanitarian grounds, I don't think, the purpose of humanitarian grounds compared to Ukraine, other European countries have opened their border. That is humanitarian. They don't take them and then pass them on to another country and say, keep them. So if we are talking of humanitarian grounds, we should keep them here and not send them back to their home country, where initially they ran away from. Now, this is Ablakwa himself in Parliament, sometime back. He said, Mr. Speaker, let me just, Mr. Speaker, this judgment now means that is referring to the Gitmo 2. This judgment now means that every note verbal and every memorandum of understanding that the government of Ghana enters into with another foreign entity must come to Parliament for rectification. So I don't know why the same person today is giving us different...
And this was a statement you say on the floor of Parliament.
The floor of Parliament. So the Honorable Foreign Affairs Minister should be seen to be a man of principle, stay true to his word, because we all know, you are within that field, that diplomacy credibility also matters.
But can we really stand to the US and say we won't accept these individuals?
But blessed, we're a sovereign country. So it tells you, per this question...
What? Because you take aid from the US,
yeah, so
you're receiving so much
this
from the
question,
US.
what I'm deducing is that then the memorandum of understanding is coming with some goodies. Perhaps that's why the government accepted it. That's the understanding I get from your question.
Okay. Well, because we don't know the details of the arrangements, we wait to see what the government will say in the coming days about it. Nanaiwa, in just a minute, wrap this up for us. What will you be doing in the coming days about this? Yeah, today is just not a favorable day in terms of the line set.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Nana, I'm just asking what you'll be doing. In a minute, tell us what you'll be doing in the coming days about this.
There are still a lot of things on the table. There's a possibility of going to court. There's a lot of, there's also the possibility of highlighting that they don't take up. But it's more important a type of wish of the
Okay, we seem to be having that challenge again, and not a good day for the phone lines now. So let's just proceed and move on. And now head into local politics. Johnson Asiedu Nketia is now giving us a clear explanation as to why he's running a nationwide thank you tour. That tour, we understand, is to thank the base of the party. There are so many speculations as to what this is all about. Some say he's nursing presidential ambitions. Others say, well, you should focus on other pressing matters facing government. There are issues of galamsey, as Imani President Franklin Kujo is pointing out too, which the NDC chairman should be focused on. Fortunately, Victor is closer to the action, so he'll be able to explain to us what exactly is going on. Even this morning as we speak, we understand that Chief of Staff will be doing something similar again within the Madina areas. Keep fit, we understand. Keep fit. It's just walk with Julius. Keep fit. Yeah, that's what we understand. I'm not saying he's standing for president, but of course, these are some of the issues that we're hearing of. So what we'll do now is to take a short break. When we get back, Victor, you have to prepare and explain to us what exactly it is that Johnson Asiedu Nketia is embarking on. You can see the anxiety on the part of the audience. They want to know, is General Mosquito in the race? What's going on? All of these we'll explore shortly after this break. Stay with us here on Prime Insight. We'll be right back.
Almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or being late?
Of course.
Be the luckiest, go be from Georgia, be luckiest. From not the because she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter what you're luckiest, everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Say ya God the apple boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the son of man be. Is that his car?
Everywhere.
Dial star 712#. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
A for amazing, B for big wins, C for cash in your wallet. It's the ABC game, as easy as ABC. Just dial *262# and pick 3 letters like WIN or FUN and stick as low as 1 Ghana cedi. With just 1 letter correct, you stand a chance of winning up to 1 million Ghana cedis daily and get paid instantly to your phone. And guess what? Even if you lose, you get 10% cash back. No wahala, no waiting, just winning. Try it now. Dial *262# because life should be as easy as ABC. Play responsibly. Approved and regulated by the NLA.
Adum TV, ye wazoye.
And yes, we're back. Okay, so the wait is over now. Why is Asiedu Nketia running around the country doing a thank you tour just weeks after or months after President John Dramani Mahama did same across 16 regions? Many in the audience are wondering why. Let's hear the justification first, and then we'll get to do some comments from the audience as well. Wanda, so give us a sense of what's happening. I had the Asiedu Nketia tape. That was yesterday when he went to the Eastern region. Presumably, a lot of people have been giving him calls, I understand, just to try and understand what's going on, because many within the NDC, even within the NDC, are raising concerns as to why the chairman is doing this at this point. His explanation is that there was a different strategy that the NDC put up in the lead up to the 2024 elections, where you had agreed that John Mahama and the running mate, now vice president, will focus on the presidential. Then Asiedu Nketia, who's chairperson, will check the NPP's attempt to undermine your victory on the parliamentary level. That's his justification for why he's now going to constituencies where the president did not originally go to thank them. But why is he doing that now?
Thank you very much. I mean, there's no better time than now. In fact, I would have been very, very surprised if he hasn't taken the move to go on a thank you tour. Because in the event leading to the 2024 elections, as national officers, of course, I will not come and tell you all what we discussed national level. We had a serious strategy. And you know that politics in this country has to do with a lot of resources. The MPP had a lot of money, so if we were to do all our campaign...
How do you know they had a lot of money?
Oh, I mean, we knew, you could see the incumbency, how they abused it. So if it was about that big rallies, it would have been affected seriously. So the party came with a strategy. So for example, the national chairman never went to any regional capital, moving to the communities. So you don't have to bus people all the way to a particular center. In fact, I was with the national chairman in part of Asante region. Now, in those meetings, the national chairman promised them that, look, if you vote for our person to become member of parliament and you vote for candidate Mahama to become president of Ghana, he will come back to thank them. He said this clear. So now, by God's grace, we've gone to the election. Victory has come. The man says he's going back. People say, no, don't go back.
Yeah, but who is the leader of the NDC now? Is it the president or Johnson Asiedu Nketia? Because the leader is the president. He's done that on behalf of the NDC, isn't it?
Yes. In the same manner in which the president went around. That was the same manner during the campaign. The president went around. The running mate went around. The national chairman went around. Take note, it is the party that gives birth to government. Of course, maybe after birth, they may cut the umbilical cord. But as to whether or not, that cord will be cut out that you have no reliance. Our mothers are here. When the cord is cut off, they still give breast milk to the baby. So the chairman says he's going back to thank the people. And you're saying no. And I hear people say you should fight galamsey and all of that. There's a minister responsible for lands. The same people will be complaining if the chairman was to be purport to be doing works of the ministers. The same people will be blaming him that he should allow ministers to do their work and all of that. So everybody should do their work. The chairman is not holding executive position in government. He's running the party and he's going back to say thank you. I mean, let's be careful. We were just talking about humanitarian grounds and all. Ghana is a country that we show gratitude. Our culture is very important. So if you have people giving you mandates and you want to go back to thank them, so does it mean that? And one of the reasons that I heard, or criticism that I heard, I was so shocked. People say I was going to meet delegates to campaign. I said, so for delegates, you only go to them during elections. So there are some people in this country can only visit them during elections when they've opened nomination. So can't you go back to, even if it's a delegate, can't you go back to them to thank them? What kind of logic society are we building? So delegates, they are just there. It's only election time that you can go back to them. You can't go and listen to them, to go and reassure them, support them. You can't do that now.
Are you using party funds for this? I mean, how are you paying for this?
I've just told you. You and I had this discussion on
radio.
Yes, on radio. And I told you that, look, I'm not going to let you know the strategy of political funding in our party. In the event leading up to the election, we had different types of campaigning. And we knew where funds came from to support. Some people even donated, Ghanaians. They knew how MPP had messed up the country. You understand? Exchange rates, depreciation. So Ghanaians supported us to run the campaign.
So you are using leftover cash to do the thank you?
That is part of it. But I'm not going to tell you where the funds is coming from. But the point is that the national chairman has done no wrong. He's still the national chairman of the party. And he has to work as national chairman. I will say that the party should collapse. When it's time for election, then the party comes back. Is that the logic?
How do you respond to claims, even by some members of the NDC, that what Johnson Asiedu Nketia is doing is to nurse his political ambitions to become the next president or perhaps the next flag bearer of the NDC?
We can make a lot of logical inference and all of that, but there's even nothing wrong if Chairman Asiedu Nketia wants to be president of Ghana. He's qualified, the constitution says 40 years and above, he should be of sound mind and all of that. But I'm saying that the problem is coming from those who are reading those meanings. The president says he's going to do thank you to. So if Chairman Asiedu Nketia decides to go to church every day, and somebody says, now this man wants to be a pope, or he wants to become a reverend minister. The problem is those making those reading those meanings. But as for him, he's doing his work as national chairman of the party. There's nothing wrong. The general secretary is working, they go to office. They've been caused recently that those holding positions and are holding government positions should resign. You understand? But they've been also criticism that, look, allow them to be at post. Our mandate as national officers ends next year. We'll go for re-election and all of this. So let the party work. It's very important that the party structure works. Otherwise, we'll get to a point where once elections are done, political parties will not be effective. And you know the importance of having a very effective political party.
But this is the case. Johnson Asiedu Nketia himself has been on one of our platforms saying that this tendency, if not checked, could be dangerous for the NDC because he says some names have come up. There's a person who's a chief of staff. There's a person who's a vice president. People are making projections that the competition has started, and when you do that, you leave the core work of governance and you begin to focus on the next primaries.
So in that tape, I also watched the tape by Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia. He didn't say the tendency of thank you to. He said the tendency of declaring your intention to contest for president or making moves as that can undermine the government.
Don't you feel that just started too early in the NDC now?
Nothing has started. The chairman is going for a thank you tour. It is people who are saying that thank you tour should be deemed as campaigning. We go for meetings, we go for meetings. This alone, if not at all, we've gone for at least 2 National Executive Committee meetings. Because of the oath of secrecy, I'm being restrained from speaking. But I'm saying that we work, and the party is working. So if the national chairman decides to go, the argument we are going is dangerous because now if you have a foreign affairs minister who decides to go and support a community, they'll say, hey, this minister wants to become president. So now people cannot work again. You see, that's my fear. People can no longer work in good faith. So if one of our the education minister decides to go and support some school somewhere, some community with funds or books or computers, people will now start saying that he wants what?
Become president.
Yes. If the finance minister wants to do this. So the part we are on in this country, we need to be very, very careful. You have a pastor, if a pastor decides to do humanitarian support, they'll say that this pastor wants to be running mate.
Yeah.
We've heard all these things before in this country. Let's be careful. He's the national chairman of the party. The party has gone to an election. Did the party not win? Yes, the party won. This man is going to thank the people. What is wrong? If we agreed as a party that we can have different campaign units where the flag bearer moves, because in the past, when the flag bearer moves, we move the national chairman, everybody, and we're going to do one big rally. But this time, it didn't happen like that. The national chairman moved, running mates moved, flag bearer moved. In fact, the general secretary was coordinated, so you will never see the flag bearer and the national chairman in the same region at the same time. It was done such that if the flag bearer is in the Volta region, the chairman will be in the Ashanti region. As soon as the chairman comes to Volta, the flag bearer moves to the Upper West. It was properly coordinated. And now we are done with election. The chairman who hasn't taken any executive position like minister, chief executive of any government institution says he's going to thank the people he went to. And we have a problem with this. That's it.
Kamal, why do you have a problem with this? I mean, it's just thank you after all. There's nothing wrong with saying thank you.
I have a problem.
Oh, okay, great, nice. So you support Asiedu Nketia?
I'm only beginning to lean back and see how the drama begins to unfold in the NDC, because it's happening to us, and then they are still making mockery of us. It's about unfolding. So we'll see how it pans out, and they are even in government now. So it tells.
So you feel their presidential race is starting?
It tells you the degree of the mess we are about to face ahead. So let's take a chill pill. I know the time will come. Chapter 5 of their constitution says that the president, who is a member of the party, is the leader of the party when it is in government. That is Article 26, Clause 1. Then the 3 says that at any other time, the chairman of the party is the leader. So if the president is the leader of the party, I would like to find out whether the president has consented to this thank you tour, because he's the leader. Asiedu Nketia, the national chairman, cannot start something like that without prior recourse to the
You have an answer. You have an answer for him immediately.
Yeah.
So you need to be answering.
He wants to just give you clarity on that before you proceed with your point. Yeah.
Yes. So some moves of the party are implied. If it was the national executive that agreed on the campaign strategy that the flag bearer should not move with the chairman together, it was the national party which had the flag bearer then at the time that said that look, the flag bearer will campaign in a different mood, the chairman will campaign in a different mood.
You said this.
So in that agreement, there's an implicit that if I lead a team to go and campaign somewhere and I want to go and thank those people, it's implied.
Yeah, but the Constitution
says... The Constitution says...
The president is the leader.
The president is the leader.
Sought the express permission of the president.
Yes, and the national chairman is embarking on a thank you tour. Has he sought the permission of the president that this is what I want to do? And has the president given him the blessing?
Victor is saying that once the process was blessed by the party, then it goes without saying.
You see, there are certain questions we say they are rhetorical. I've asked this question in a rhetorical manner because clearly there's no way the president could give this permission.
You think so?
Oh, clearly. Okay, you are a national officer. Has the president given his express permission for the national chairman to continue? You were unable to answer, so let me proceed. I beg of you. So it's a clear expose that the national chairman...
But he hasn't told you that.
The national chairman is doing this arbitrary. It's not... Number two...
Do you have any evidence to that?
Oh, but I just quoted your constitution.
No, you are saying...
I made you flow. Allow me flow.
No, but you flow on facts, respectfully.
I'm flowing on fact that the president is the leader of your party.
When the president did not consent to it,
and the national chairman has decided to embark on a thank you tour. Has he sought the permission of the leader of the party?
The president told you he has not sought that.
It's not true.
But if the president had an issue with this, they would have a statement right now.
You expect the president to come out?
So you're not assuming. You're not assuming. But you flow. You flow. You flow with assumptions. Flow.
We know. The other difficulty, Council sat here and was just going about that. I want to find out again. Did you sit at national executive meeting for you to say that, okay, he's embarking on a thank you tour and he's going to embark on it solely because, blessed, according to him, the national chairman went and met Ghanaians in certain rural communities, not so, or in certain communities, because he didn't go to any regional capital, and promised them that when the party wins, he's going to come back to thank them. Now, the membership of the people now the national chairman is meeting are not the typical Ghanaians we all know. They are made. How do you know if that? I said typical Ghanaians, let me break it down. If I say if you are meeting branch executives, your cadres, your constituency officers, you can't can't tell me these are the normal Ghanaians who you went to.
But these people contributed to the victory of the parties.
You are meeting party executives.
Yes.
Because you've structured the people you are meeting. But according to him, when the national chairman was going for the campaign, he wasn't only meeting. When he enters a community, he doesn't meet only the branch executive. He meets Ghanaians because he's on a rally to campaign for the party. So if it was true, per what you are saying, we should have seen the national chairman having an open forum where he stands to tag the community for voting.
Let me just come to.
Okay.
Let's just correct this again.
Kamal, I'll give you the time. Don't worry.
Yeah. The national chairman in this meeting even met chiefs. Yes. Chiefs met chiefs. Exactly. Taxi unions and all of that. You are just saying that cadres, you have decided conveniently to restrict.
I'm not the one. Your flyer, he made a flyer out. We saw it on social media. The group of people.
So let him explain and let him answer, because you asked him the question. I'll give you the time. Don't worry.
Okay, if you give me the time, that's fine.
So maybe if you are looking at the flyer,
so is he only visiting party? The members, cadres, executives, is that all he's doing?
No. Maybe he may want to read the flyer in full. Okay. Because in those flyers and letters and all of that, he indicated they want to be unions as well. And even apart from the flyers, we've seen the tour. As a matter of fact, even if the flyer limited it to those people, as a matter of fact, on the ground, what have we seen? We've seen that he has met chiefs. We've seen that he has met members of the community.
Oh, he's met chiefs already?
Some chiefs are even telling him that he should not retire as just chairman of the party.
Oh, and that he should be president?
I've not said that. I'm just saying that some chiefs...
Settings. Listen.
But I just want to link it out with the chief of staff work. Like, again, I do not think the chief of staff work means that he wants to contest for president. No. This person wants to keep fit. He wants to... Let's not.
Our brother is really struggling.
No,
our brother is really struggling.
Let us not be making assumptions.
Let us agree with me. He's struggling.
Look. Me, as I'm here, if I get, I'll join the walk. You see my tummy.
Someone says you go explain that.
If you see my tummy, if you see my tummy, if I get, I will even want to join the walk.
So possibly you may be joining the walk.
Yeah. So
see the difficulty he's going through. This should clearly guide him that when other political parties are going through difficulty, this is not for you to laugh. But let me come to the meeting of the chiefs. When political parties enter certain communities, they first as a kind of entry into the community want to go and meet the chiefs and announce their presence. So don't use this as a justification as to what we all know the manifest and then the latent intent of what your national chairman is doing. So be it. Let me also ask, can any national executive say that, okay, during the campaign, as national organizer or the general secretary, I also took this community, so I'm also embarking on a thank you tour. Is that what's going to happen? Because if the party is going to thank people, if your national chairman even went to certain community and you won, now it is a party that has won. Is that not it? So you should have gone together with the national executives as a body to go and thank the people, not in his individual capacity, because he has an ambition we all know, which you don't want to. We will help you in the MPP, we will help you say it plainly that he has the ambition, and then the chief of staff also has the ambition. We've started seeing the rift publicly is beginning to manifest. They see each other, one passes west, the other passes east. We are beginning to...
about that?
Oh, basically, there are videos we've seen.
Oh, there are videos
There are videos we've seen where they see each other. There's this kind of cold war, kind of cold tension beginning to manifest within the NDC.
Okay.
Please, I'm coming. So the question I really want to ask as a national officer is that, can your national organizer also embark on a thank you tour? Yes. Can your general secretary also embark? And if they are beginning to embark in individual capacities, what does that speak of your party?
This is what I want to do. If truly these individuals are lacing their boots for presidency, how is it looking like? Global Info Analytics is out with a poll. They did that earlier this year with Haruna and the others in the mix. Let me bring in Musa Dankwa, who's the Executive Director for Global Info Analytics, is joining us via Zoom. Thank you, sir, for your time. So let's do this. Why is Asiedu Nketia in all of this, in the mix? I recall when the first poll was out, Asiedu Nketia was then lagging behind, but now you say there's a significant improvement. Tell us about it.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, the first poll that was conducted in April, he was barely around 13%. Subsequent to that, in July, he rose to 27%.
Oh, 27.
So we saw his number doubling from 13 to 26%. So in terms of gain, he was the one that made a real huge gain from the previous poll. in addition to Atufosin.
So who's leading on this new list? And are you still keeping the same list? Because in the last list, I think Julius Deborah was not on that list, right?
Yes, we were showing the top 5, which at the time he wasn't. Now Deborah is on the list. If you look at the list we released last week, before we started the tracking poll, you have Haruna Idrisu, you have Atufosin, you have Asiedu Nketia, you have Julius Deborah, you have Ablakwa, and all the big guns who we are believing that may have interest, even though some may not have interest, or we have them there.
So now let's do this. Who's number 1 on the list, and where's Johnson Asiedu Nketia as opposed to the chief of staff? Where do we place all of them now?
The most recent poll, which is the July poll, has Haruna Idrisu on top, followed by Asiedu Nketia, then Atufosin, then Julius Deborah, then Ablakwa.
Oh, so there's Atufosin in the mix. Do you have a clear percentage point for all of these individuals, if you can run us through?
Yes, if you look at the poll, Haruna Idrisu on 27% as of the July poll.
Yeah.
Asiedu Nketia on 26%. Atufosin on 22%. Deborah on 11%. Ablakwa on 8%.
So now the top 5 has completely changed. Any reason for which the vice president is no longer featuring on this list now? Because the initial one
we took the decision to take it out for a number of reasons. We don't want to put that in public, but it's our own decision. If there's confirmation that she's going to contest, we'll bring her back.
And of course, I would want to talk about Atufosin. Why Atufosin, and why is he also picking up so fast?
Right, it's quite strange. In fact, if you look at the people who are probably doing very well, they're the ones who have not declared any publicly interest or shown any action in public that they want to contest. So if you see Haruna Idrisu, very, very little from him as far as his ambition is concerned, but people know that he's going to contest because of some of the things he's said in the past. But unfortunately, the surprising one, there's no indication whatsoever that he's going to contest. And also Ablakwa, but they are getting very good numbers so far. And if they haven't declared any intention, they are doing this well. We don't know what will happen if they do declare.
Yeah. Okay, are you beginning to do permutations already? Say, for instance, in my mind now, I'm looking at possibly Asiedu Nketia against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Asiedu Nketia against Kennedy Japan. These are at least the leading names in the NPP. Are you beginning to do some of the permutations already? How is it going to be looking like?
Yes, we've set out a criteria for one to qualify to be in the head-to-head. The criteria is that if you are on the MPP circuit, you must at least have 10% point from the public support for us to include you as a head-to-head candidate. And the same thing applies to NDC. When we did that for the NDC, only 4 people qualified: Haruna Idrisu, Julius Deborah, Atufosin, and Asiedu Nketia. So we ran head-to-head for these 4 candidates against the 2 candidates, which is MPP, Dr. Bawumia, and Kennedy Japan.
Okay.
We have a head-to-head to Haruna and the 2 of the MPP candidates, Atufosin and 2 of the MPP candidates, Mosquito and the 2 MPP candidates, and Deborah with 2 MPP candidates.
That'll be an interesting one. I'm waiting for that. But let's do the NPP side. You have Ken, you have Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Have you run that already?
It's currently ongoing, yes. It's ongoing.
And it's looking like...
No, I don't want to take the cat out of the bag. But it's very fascinating weeks ahead.
Wow. So it's coming up in the next few days. Give us a sense, if you're not going to give us figures, of what some of the critical deciding factors for the NPP guys too as well.
Look, I don't want to let anything out, but we are seeing phenomenal and trend that we are observing. The key thing we've seen is that the NDC voters prefer MPP to elect Bawumia, and the MPP voters prefer NDC to elect Mosquito or Haruna Idrisu.
Are they doing that from a good heart, a good place, if I should say, or they want someone who they can easily.
I don't want to answer that.
Or they want someone who they can easily. Because I'm looking at this, Johnson Asiedu Nketia against Kennedy in Japan. That will be a wild one, isn't it? Yeah, that will be a very serious one.
I mean, we just have to wait a bit more to see a bit more detail from that. I think it's going to be very fascinating. We've already done the telephone survey of general vote, so we have that idea already. But we're now doing the face-to-face in the field, where we are engaging about 7,500 more voters face-to-face nationwide.
Okay,
and that should be very fascinating stuff.
A sense and outlook before I let you go of the 2028 elections. Swinging right or left, NDC or NPP?
Look, it will take a big mess from the NDC to lose the election.
It will take a big mess?
Yes.
So you're implying that there's a higher chance for the NDC, you're saying?
I mean, there's more than 80% chance for NDC to win the election.
Some would, apologies, some would challenge you on that and say, and just as Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has said, no first-time candidate has ever won a presidential elections in this country. That's a fact, isn't it? So if you have Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia coming again for the second time, and I'm not assuming that that's the decision the NPP delegates will take. I'm just assuming without admitting. Would that not change the dynamics and looking at the trend that we've seen ever since '92?
Bless, I wish you speak to the people in your studio, the young people, your young voters, in the form of a focus group discussion and see whether they hold a kind of belief. We have held some belief in this country that is outdated, irrelevant in the modern day politics of this country. We have a new brand of voters who have nothing to do with those kind of ideas. So people must be prepared to get a shock of their lives.
Right. So it's not business as usual. Anyway, Musa Dankwa, we're grateful for your time.
At all.
So the young ones will decide.
75% of your voters below 35 years of age.
So it's going to be largely driven by the youth.
Absolutely. If they believe in those theories, fine. But from what I've seen, they don't believe in those things. They look at tangible results. Who can deliver what they want?
Okay, Musa Dankwa, thank you so much for your time this morning. And of course, we'll be waiting for that release. You're coming out with it this week, I believe?
No, that will be first week of October.
First week October. Of course, we'll be on the lookout for that finding. And very interesting dynamics here. But you in the audience will be the ones deciding. We have the power now to say who will become presidents, not these individuals on the panel. So let me go into the audience. Probably start off with you. And then we hear from other colleagues as well. And then I'll come to the
thank you for the opportunity. It is important that we become very real to ourselves. Very, very real. I'm a practical person and I believe in practicality. I can say with confidence that the 8 months of the NDC in office is far, far better as a citizen, a youth, compared to the 8 years of the MPP. Educationally, infrastructurally, economically. These are real things that we feel on a daily basis. If not for anything, we now have good economy, which is reflecting in the life of Ghanaians, not as party people. Because when I'm going to buy food outside there, I'm not going to go with my party card. I'm going there as a citizen. So if you look at the tangent that the NDC, my party, is going, confidently, no elections today will be held and then it will lose. As a matter of fact, Nketia, we are just coming from there. We went to every single household to sell the message to the people. And it will shock you that Ghanaians are descending enough to see between who an oblique person is and who a fair person is.
Okay, let's give the opportunity to some more of your colleagues to also join. Yes, you kindly introduce yourself and then we can hear your points then. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it is Prince. I think that as humans, we are free to draw inferences on the actions and inactions of others.
Yeah.
And while such views should be respected, it cannot also form a proper basis for a serious dialogue. I am not in the knowledge of NDC issuing a letter indicating the opening of nominations for their presidential primaries. Nor have I seen a member or government appointee declaring their intention to contest. I think what should remain of paramount importance is the fact that President John Dramani Mahama has promised the people of reset agenda. I have not seen anything like 10 cents of Mr. Kofi.
You are already starting in politics.
Please.
Are you honestly telling me?
No, I'm coming.
Are you honestly telling me?
Yes, I'm saying that I have not seen, I have not come across 10 cents of Mr. Kofi or Mr. Kwame. What should be of supreme interest to us is the fact that President Mahama has restored the dignity of our economy. Inflation has reduced from 23.8% from January to 11.5%. He promised the good people of Ghana are going to keep the dollar between 10 and 12. He has done that.
Yeah.
He promised that he's going to do no fish trades.
No doubt.
He allocated 499.8 million. Over 120,000 students have benefited from that.
Yeah.
He established Ghana Medical Trust Fund to support people with chronic disease. These are the things that we should be talking about. He said that free senior high school, that the naysayers said that review means cancellation. He has today made the highest ever allocation to that, 3.5 billion Ghana. It has never happened before in the history of Ghana.
I get that.
He again said that $10 billion big push agenda. And you realize that he has castled for the Dowenya, Afenya, Dodowa corridor, about 24.8 kilometer route. And the people there.
So while he's doing that, his people are on the ground. Some of them allegedly are campaigning.
He said allegedly campaigning. Can you provide evidence to that? No. He said no. Allegedly by who? Who said that? No, he can.
Okay, so let me give you a sense. Rams Mubarak is a former member of parliament for the NDC, Kumbungu, I believe. He's posted online and he says there cannot be any justification but to say Asiedu Nketia is campaigning and listing his votes for presidential elections. That's an evidence if you're asking from within your party.
The chairman general has indicated his purpose for going there. I mean, I've seen videos.
Yeah.
Nowhere in the video have I seen him campaigning. I've seen people drawing inferences from health works.
Yes.
Much as I respect those views, I don't think any one of them has publicly declared their intention to contest. As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy that at least if there should be any such event happening, I've not come across 10 cents or people deep in the state, wasting our public resources. That is what we should be concerned about.
Right.
10 cents. Have we come across 10 cents?
Okay. No. I know you're shading about me, but anyway, let's do a bit more. Yes, kindly introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Reginald Ankra.
Yeah.
And I would like to state on record that it is not everybody's ambition to be president in the country. Asiedu Nketia has been dubbed as one of the greatest political strategists the country has ever had. If there has been a prior agreement within the party for something like this to have happened, we do not know. But he has not outrightly expressed any intention to contest for presidency. And we all know that it is a declaration that is made when you want to contest. Democracy is from grassroots. And the grassroots are not these urban societies, it is the rural ones. So if he is going around on a thank you tour to rural communities, it does not expressly mean that he wants to go for a presidential aspiration. He is just securing the party's future for future elections.
Some more. There's a gentleman behind. Okay, but before that.
Right. So in all these conversations, what I take pride in is that the fact that the NDC government have a 4-year mandate, of which they have to deliver to the people of Ghana. What is also interesting is that the same faces that ruled out for the last 8 years are the same ones that the NPP are parading to contest in the 2028 elections. When you look at the same faces, all these people, their credibility are at stake. Many of them, with their own party people, bring out their own sins that they committed during the last 8 years. So what it gives to the NDC as a government is an upper hand that whoever they decide to present, whether Asiedu Nketia, Julius Debra and the likes, undoubtedly will win the 2028.
So you feel the NDC has a better chance to win the next elections?
Of course. I have believed that they will deliver in the 4 years mandate, that we are going to deliver on our promises. For the 9 months, we have seen results. For the first time in this country, we are seeing that people, during the campaign period, they used to ask us that, if the NDC come into power, will prices reduce? Will inflation reduce? And we have seen that reflecting in every sector of the economy. So if this trajectory continues, that means that the NDC is in the path to winning the elections, regardless of whoever you present, because it is about competence, it's about who can deliver. When you look at the likes of Baumia and Co., they have been in government before. They have been in government before. They have had the opportunity to right the wrongs. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in past used to tell us that the presidency is not a place to correct mistakes. So I will just kindly ask him that he should go and look for a place and sit down. We are not coming to experiment with the presidency. With his apologies and whatnot, someone who campaigned that you did perform better, and now you are apologizing for mistakes. So I don't know which is which. But going forward, what the NDC have to do is that, as a government, they need to put themselves together such that these kind of, side talks will not distract them. The party functions on its own. Whoever that decides to go, let the person go. But what should be their mandate is that the focus is to deliver to the people of Ghana.
Okay.
Make sure that
right, and you see that some of your colleagues behind there disagree with you. I'll be coming to them shortly, but if you're watching us now, feel free to be a part of the show. I will display the numbers on which you can send us WhatsApp messages. We'll take them and read them out to the rest of the world. Also, Musa Danko is still with us, so we're still doing that focus group discussion, Musa, and I'll get back to you shortly. So let's go behind. Okay, there's a gentleman. Okay, let's give the priority to ladies, isn't it? We've not had too many of them this morning. Before I come to you, then, yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Loretta. I graduate from the University of Ghana.
Okay.
I have questions and concerns.
Right.
My question is, why is Honorable Asiedu Nketia doing the thank you talk, and why not the president of the country? President John Dramani Mahama.
Because the president has done his already. He did.
So why is he doing it again? And that goes with government funds. If I'm being right,
No.
It's possible. It's possible. No, he's going on the NDC, so meaning that we have there will be a government fund in there.
No, we need to correct this. Yeah.
And then my concern is, I'm a graduate. You've had over 9 months in power, all right? Unemployment, and then when you actually walk around, maybe East Legon, Gimpa, after 7, no light, all right, no light, and then the unemployment situation, how are they dealing with it? Because it's over 9 months, and you've not seen any improvement. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure Victor might want to take that answer for us, whether or not Asiedu Nketia is using state funds. Maybe I don't know, Victor, if you want to clarify that. How are we paying? How are we paying for the toll for Johnson Asiedu Nketia?
Yeah, let me state categorically that the thank you toll by the national chairman of the NDC is not funded by the state.
Okay, so it's not state funded.
No, I need to state this categorically. I know this for a fact.
So who's funding it?
It's not funded by the state. I mean, the Honorable Asiedu Nketia is not a man of straw. I mean, he can go around to thank people from his own pockets. I want to state this for a fact, and I know this for a fact. It is not being sponsored.
So you now get a sense of why some people are alarmed about this. That possibly there may be government funds, government support. I mean, he's national chairperson of the party, of the ruling party.
And I've just told you that we campaign in this country with different campaign units. We're in opposition at the time, but we were able to do this. You understand? So I want to assure you and say for a fact that it's not, and I want you to get me on record that the national chairman thank you tour is not sponsored by the state. There are means and processes of getting money from the state. If you're even doing procurement purchases, you know their procurement is being regulated by the Procurement Act. At times you need to even write to the Public Procurement Authority. So you cannot just go into public office and take funds. And in relation to this thank you tour, it is not being funded by the states.
So the question
so is it being funded by the NDC, the coffers of the party?
I've just told you that the national chair of the party is not a man of straw. I'm just saying for a record. I know for a fact. I don't want to tell you where he's getting the funds from. It could be his savings, people support him. The party pays the general secretary, for example. If you're not aware, the party pays the general secretary. Well, he's the CEO of the party. But I don't want to go into our...
But not the national chairman.
That's what I'm just telling you that I don't want to go...
The national chairman who is on board.
No, I'm just giving an example.
So who pays
because you were
because
you were sort of laughing and stuff. I want you to know that the party has a way to resource its persons. Look, the state is not sponsoring the thank you to of the national chairman. I want to make this point very clear. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Listen, can I respond to something?
Yes.
Sorry, I've missed your name. The one behind you. Brahma. Brahma,
yes.
He said Bawumia is apologizing I think when you are coming,
he has apologized.
Yes,
I'm not disputing that, and he sought to make mockery of it. Yes. And I want him to get prepared when he's coming to say things of such nature. This is Ghana Web. Where is it? That's 12 April 2017. Blame me for 2016 defeat, Mahama to NDC. Let me read. Former President Mahama has asked critics within his party to directly hold him responsible for the loss of... How does that relate? No. You should get the dynamic. Dr. Baumia apologized for what happened in government, that whatever it is, he takes responsibility. Right. You understand? And I want to draw his attention that former President Mahama himself also apologized, because once you lose power, it tells you that there are one or two things you did that Ghanaians weren't happy with it. That's the bottom line.
Right. Just 1 minute. You're talking about Ghana Web. Baumia was captured to have said on Joy News and by Ghana Web, they've captured Baumia saying that the presidency is not in place for remedials. So if you are going to go by all logic, Baumia should not be contesting because the presidency is not a place for remedials.
But if the President Mahama, who was the sitting president, lost power and still came back, what makes you think that the vice president cannot be given the opportunity to come back? A sitting president who had the authority, the final authority, not even the vice president.
I'm quoting the words of the
all know that the vice president is constrained when it comes to decision taking. But the president, who had the final say, lost election in 2016. Yet Ghanaians still gave him the opportunity to come back to power. So if people come to sit here and say that Baumia cannot become president, I don't think they are impressed with it. But you are an NDC, I don't expect you to.
In the audience
if I give you the whole day, you will never mention MPP who has chance.
You were about.
There's nobody MPP you ever tell me has chance.
So my name is Obed from University of Ghana. So I want to know from the analyst point of view if actually this thank you tour has an influence on voters, or it's just for internal mobilization. Because we are all saying that people are making inferences, and it may be due to the content of the message they are actually sending out. So I want to know if it actually has an influence.
Any impact of the sort?
It actually has an influence on the voters. Because if not, maybe we may be overemphasizing on that, and it may not be right. So I just want to know from the analysis point of view.
Right. Okay, let me give the opportunity.
My brother Christian was saying that the NDC has performed better within the 8 years.
He alluded to a number of macroeconomic indicators.
And I'm saying within this 8 years, growing up, this is my first time seeing Ghanaians being refugees in other countries. This is my first time. I don't know.
Would you be entirely right?
Yeah. My first time. My first time seeing Ghanaians being refugees in other countries. The insecurity in this country, the Galamsey issue, employment. I don't know where we are going to be. The youth of this country. Employment. They promised us 24-hour economy. Till now, we don't even know. You go to the Adenta DVLA. If you go there now, at night, you only see the watchman or gate man. Within the 8 years, you're saying they perform better. And Nketia, and he linked this to Nketia by-election. But Nketia by-election, what I would say is that the NDC went there to threaten the good people of Nketia. That if you don't vote for us, we will not bring development. They went there to threaten them. They didn't go to campaign. They went there to threaten them. That was it. They didn't go there to campaign. So don't use as Nketia by-election. We won Nketia election. Honorable Nestor Kumi, the late, won that election. And then you went there back to threaten them that if you don't vote for us, we're not bringing development. So they didn't go there to campaign. And this hasn't done anything better. They flanked many programs. About inflation. Now about inflation. Kinky. The inflation is in the books. Inflation is in the books. True. If you go to town, fried rice and I'm talking
why was Dr. Baumia high on inflation, FX, foreign exchange?
So that's why Ghanaians voted us out. So that's why
Ghanaians on the book. So now
the MPP is out. Ghanaians voted us out. Then this campaign on that, and Ghanaians voted us out. And we are out
Dr. Mahmoud Baumia once said that if the fundamentals
the NDC based on that and campaign against Alhaji Baumia. So now the government and in the same books are showing inflation. if you go to the market, the KK has been reduced. Fried rice, I'm not my girlfriend. My girlfriend's fried rice used to be 250 Ghana, but it's now 670 Ghana cedis.
Oh, now you're paying more.
I'm buying it more. Yeah. Oh, she's enjoying.
Your girlfriend can go with
inflation. Give me KK. Last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks. Nanaya was here.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks. Nanaya in the position said she used to eat kinky. But now and the price of kinky has increased.
Yeah.
We met down there and I asked her about the price of kinky and she said now she doesn't eat kinky anymore. She said she's in power and only kinky beer. This is what we are facing now. If you go to town, rice, even the rice around, the rice, the vendors around. If you go to the rice, 10 cedis grab. You're not so we are suffering. It's not enough. You are suffering. Don't come and compare this to 8 months. Nothing. Insecurity. The Minister of Lands, Amabua has failed. Honorable Mutaka has failed.
It's fine.
Ablakwa has failed. They've all failed.
But let's stay within the context of our conversation. Let's stay within the context of our conversation. I'll urge that. So please go ahead. Yes.
You know, I think that
let's stick within the context,
sure,
please, so I can get back to Musa. Yes, please.
I think that I think very much that as young people, in as much as we may sometimes be politically biased and would want to speak in favor of our respective political parties, when we are analyzing issues, we need to come from a certain intellectual point of view. Because to suggest that 5 good people who, I think one has served as a vice president before, and we have 4 of them all serving in their capacity as ministers, to suggest at your level that they don't have what it takes to ascend the highest office of this country is neither here nor there, and it is very insulting because there's even at home. With regards
but if we gave you the job and you didn't sell, so why should we give you the opportunity again?
So this is the point. Even at home, with regards to our culture, if you fought your parent or whoever, there's no harm in saying you are sorry. It doesn't also mean Dr. Bawumia apologizing doesn't mean that the MPP government that just left office about 8 months ago was totally a government full of error. Of course, there were successes, and additionally there will be challenges also. So to come out in a very diplomatic manner, and then to tell the people, okay, we are sorry for where we erred. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll end
just as there's nothing wrong with saying thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Is it?
So to suggest that saying I am sorry means that means an admission that you were incompetent while in office. It is neither here nor there. And at our level, that is one thing we should be learning, because to be elected into government, you have a social contract with the people. You understand?
Mr. is online, and he's told us now that it will be a bit slightly harder for the NPP to win the 2020 elections. You've heard from that, yeah.
So let me just end with this one. The issue between Asiedu, Nketia, and Julius Debra. I think that as young politicians, we need to be fair, because when you're going into an election, the advantages that you enjoy based on your current capacity. Mr. Asiedu Nketia is the national chairman of the NDC, so of course you enjoy that incumbency advantage of having ownership of the party. Right. While Mr. Julius Debra has ownership over what? Government machinery. Right. These are benefits that you enjoy. So your ability as a candidate to put all of these things together, to galvanize a lot of support within the base of the party is what makes you a stronger candidate. Yeah. So far as Mr. Asiedu Nketia is not going around telling people vote for me to become the next flagbearer, then there's no problem with it, because like you said, the government, the party still has to work. Again, the government still has to work. And then I'll end with one last thing, with regards to the NPP and what Mr. Musa Dankwa and the likes were saying. Look, I think that we've tried the lawyers, we've tried the economists. I'm an engineer, maybe we actually haven't tried engineers yet. But I think that where we have gotten to as a country, as young people, we have gone beyond the rhetorics. We have gone beyond theory. And we want pragmatic leadership. And that is why personally, as Emmanuel or as Zimbabwe, where I sit together, myself and young people I interact with on various social media platforms, we think that Honorable Kennedy Japan is the best person to lead this country, because he comes out as someone who is very practical. There are so many things to point out to as far as his successes in business are concerned.
Oh, then you agree with your brother.
The fact that he's a disciplinarian in Ghana. There's not a single problem that we don't have solutions to. We have the policies, we have the laws, but still there are problems. Ask yourself why. It is because there's a certain level of systemic failure in every sector of the economy. And we need that man who can come and be able to crack the whip.
I'll go back to Musa Dankwa online, but let me give the last take to you, and if there are any others before.
Thank you very much. I heard my brother saying that Mohammed's 8 months is better than the former government.
Yes.
I disagree with him because, first of all, their primary campaign, that was the 24-hour economy. Mahama came and promised us that it will kickstart, it will start rolling in July. We are now in September. Secondly, these Galamsey issues, we want them to fix the Galamsey issues. This is my first time seeing that a lot of people in Winneba, in Central Region, they do not have drinking water as a result of this Galamsey issues.
As of last year, the Water Company Limited had announced that they couldn't process water. I recall speaking to Clifford Brimer. He says it was becoming too expensive to even process water. So Galamsey has always been a challenge.
Oh yes, it has always been a challenge. But like you can see that as a result of this Galamsey issue, a lot of people don't even have water to drink. Secondly, the dollar. They are talking about dollar. Right now, the dollar is 12.24. 12.24. Right now, a lot of people even say when they go to the bank and they want to get dollar, they don't get it. So unless they go to the Abuchi people. Do you get it? We have to speak truth to power. Mohammed's governance, then 8 months, it's not better. We know. We have seen it. It's not better. He can do better. When Akufo-Addo was in government, he was using tactical operations to keep Galamsey. He made sure that he was letting the anti-Galamsey task force arrest those Galamsey operators. What was Mahama saying? Mahama said that he would give amnesty to the people when he comes to power. He's not arresting them. You cannot say that Mahama is going to keep Galamsey if in initial stages he has said that okay, he's going to give them amnesty, he's going to grant them amnesty. Let's be honest with ourselves. Galamsey issue, we have to fight it. There are a lot of things we have to deal with, and we are here telling me that Mohammed's administration
is from Professor Frimpong Boateng. Who was leading the interministerial committee?
Yes, please.
But anyway, yes.
Yeah. During our tenure office, I'm from AFA, so I'm linked to the MPP. They're making noise that we should arrest the names in the report. The names in the report, and now they are in power. They're in power now, and they read the names. They say arrest the campaigns. Now they're in power. Who are the campaigns? They should arrest them.
So let's do this. Because of time, I want to go back online. Musa Dankwa is with us. Musa, you've just said varied views on what's likely to happen. Some say Ken, some say Julius Deborah, some say Asiedu Nketia. So moving forward, what would you want Ghanaians? What would you want to leave Ghanaians with on the polls that you are carrying out and what's likely to come up? And Musa, I hope you can hear me. We seem to be having some challenges connecting to him there. But you just heard some in the audience saying Kennedy Agyapong is the best man to lead the NPP, which means that they don't want, and just as Wanda was saying, they don't want Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to be giving a chance at the presidency now.
Well, if senior sitting here tells me that Bawumia doesn't have a chance, I wouldn't take his word because he's an NDC person. If I line up 100 people within MPP, he'll still say they all don't have a chance because he belongs to the NDC. I disagree with them because I'm a firm believer that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia stands in a pole position to retain power. You see?
Even people in your party would disagree with you, isn't it?
People in my party, definitely. It's a democratic party. People, some support Brian, some support. You don't expect somebody who supports Brian or who supports Dr. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong to tell me that he believes in Dr. Bawumia.
Give me one good reason why Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should be giving a chance at the presidency.
Integrity, formidability, marketability. Since 2007 to date, what is it that you can tag Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia with?
Oh, expired rice.
Please. You said expired rice. Do you have any evidence that he imported expired rice? You see, you don't have. So I'm saying that the integrity aspect, bless you, you've been in the media space. What is it about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia that you've heard that he's corrupt, he's like this, he's insulting, he doesn't speak well? And in politics, integrity matters a lot before you contest.
Okay, Dr. And when it comes told us that they've arrested the CD. He said that before.
When it comes to look, blessed. I think all that you are going to remind me, MPP lost. Meaning Ghanaians were not happy with the way we handled.
No, you were talking about integrity. That's why I'm just.
No, by the integrity, when we say integrity, we mean that you are a person without blemish.
Yeah, but when you say something, you stand for it, isn't it?
When you say what? But what did the NDC tell you? When they came into power recently, what did they say? They said the dollar. Please.
Just land, yeah, just land.
We're talking about integrity.
And credibility, I believe you want to say.
I spoke about integrity. You are introducing credibility.
Okay, integrity.
Just quite recently, we've been told that the dollar is around 10 cedis, and then it will even go downwards. And also, what are we seeing now? Go to the black market now. It's over 13 cedis now.
The BOJ report says that this has been the best performance ever of the Ghanaian cedi.
Oh, yes.
Over 20% appreciation.
But you also saw the report that says the cedi is the worst performing currency.
Yeah, but I'm just pointing you to the cumulative.
You saw that.
I'm just pointing you to the cumulative report the BOJ
I'm also pointing to a report out there which is saying that the cedi is also worst performing currency. So if we are going to go by that standard, but you see, making mention of that 8 months is better than 8 years. Yeah, I said okay, 8 months of sacking youth from their employment, it will definitely be better to you that as a youth who is in school now trying to graduate and come and get employed. Your colleagues out there are already being sacked because of their political affiliation. Today again, the government that touted Galamsey that when they come, they are going to declare state of emergency, is struggling to even get anywhere close to the word state of emergency. Right. The government in their 120-day social contract with Ghanaians said that they were going to ban all forms of mining within our forest reserves. They've not been able to do that 9 months down the line. If for nothing at all, the first 8 months of former President Nanado, he was able to place ban on all forms of small scale mining. Please, I'm coming. Right. To the extent that your reporter, Erastus, you can check, enjoy all of you, to the point that you appreciated that our water body started becoming clean. This is the 8 months of Nanado. That is far better than the 8 months we are experiencing. This is the 8 months of Nanado. In his first 8 months, he was able to implement the biggest social intervention program in his 8 months. As you see today, your own 24-hour economy, you don't even know the left and right of it. It is about 280 voluminous pages. I don't even think you've read up to.
So let me give, yeah, right.
You are here talking about 8.
Okay, let me give the last take to Wanda. Yes.
Yeah, I am happy. I'm happy that if for nothing at all, over 3 million.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, yeah, right.
I'm happy that if for nothing at all, over 3 million Ghana cedi has been spent on the no free stress policy.
For tertiary.
Exactly.
Can you compare that to the free SMS?
If for nothing at all,
increased university user fees. They've increased university user fees. So mention that.
I'm happy that
giving with the right hand and taking.
So let's allow him to make the point.
I'm happy that 25 million Ghana cedi has been spent to strengthen local government by making allowance available for assembly members across the country. I'm happy that 34.5 million Ghana cedi has been spent on the Ejumara program under the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Program. I'm happy that over 21 billion Ghana cedi has been spent on the National Apprentice Program. I mean, we are speaking to FAG. I'm happy that as a way of trying to introduce the National Women's Bank, we have spent over 2 billion Ghana cedi to save the National Investment Bank.
Great.
We are not collapsing bank. We are not collapsing bank. We are a very focused government. You understand? I mean, if you say that you do not appreciate what we've done within these 8 months, it's up to you. But I know that it is possible that Baumia will lose the MPP primaries. It is very possible.
Okay, let me do this. Messages coming through. Benjamin Kwame Mankwa, listening to, watching us now, says, assuming without admitting that General Mosquito and Honorable Julius Deborah will be contesting the elections, any of them will beat the NPP candidates we're seeing any day, anytime. He says that's a fact. Then there's one also from Kenneth Chadu Chikata. He says, I align completely with the Thanksgiving and the reasoning of Wanda on this. There isn't anything wrong with us accepting citizens of other nations, more so our brothers from the West African sub-region. My only issue, though, is as a government, consistency should be our guide. We can't appropriate and reprobate. If what was wrong yesterday is wrong, certainly it is not right today. So that's a message from Jadu Chiketa. And the last one says, it's from Y. It says, NDC members, I think every single Ghanaian thinks like them. More people are educated and can reason. That's coming through from Mohammed Rashid, listening to us. Unfortunately, we've lost all of the time. We need to go. We'll do this again next week. You can see the interest from my audience and also my panelists. But it's been Prime Insight. I'm Blessed Suga, and of course, what a wonderful day we've had. We'll keep interacting after here. We can, of course, get interactive. On Twitter is at X, I should say. It's at Blessed Suga. Reach out and then we'll get more feedback. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.